Hello everyone and welcome back to my long-term world. In our last episode, we made a beautiful barn for all of our animals and we made a grain silo to house all of their food. We also named some additional wolves and we only have one left to name, and from your comments, a few people mentioned the name Rusty. As for today, we are going to be working on moving our nether portal from the very lame location it currently is to a beautiful new spot, and I'm thinking as far as where we move the nether portal, I kind of just want to move it right across to here. I think this would be a great spot to have a nether portal build. We can add lots of decorations from the nether around the outside, lots of that red and blue foliage. I think it would look great. But before we do that, there is one thing I have to show you guys. So you know how we're in a taiga and there's lots of foxes around and they have a tendency to jump into the air and then land other places. Yeah, I came one day to check on my farm animals just to realize that there was a fox in here with a feather in their mouth. So we are officially out of chickens, even though I just hatched a bunch of them from all the eggs that I had in my chests. So another thing we're going to work on today is making a chicken coop so our little chickens will actually be safe. And I'm kind of thinking that we'll remove a bunch of this hay here and kind of just expand this fence and add the chicken coop on the inside, and we'll just leave them in there permanently because I'm not risking letting them out and then letting the foxes get them yet again. So ironically, one of the things we're going to do today is go looking for a chicken and wait until they just drop an egg so that we can actually bring chickens home. So yay for that. I'm gonna clear some of the wheat fields in the front area here so that we can easily walk our way to the chicken coop to check on our chickens and collect all the eggs. I'm also thinking it could be kind of fun if we set up like the floor as like an egg hopper setup, so if we ever feel like making cakes or we need to resupply the chickens, we will definitely have enough eggs underneath. Now, as far as what I'm going to make this little chicken coop out of, we're going to take a bunch of spruce logs with us. We are going to bring whatever fence gates and fences we have, as well as some trapdoors. To match the look of the barn, I'll bring some calcite and some diorite. And we'll make a little deep slate roof, and I think this will look really good. Now, as far as where we'll have this, we're gonna have it be off the ground, and let's just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 by 5. And then I will get some more spruce planks made up and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get this brought all the way over. And I think instead of having these support pillars be regular spruce, let's just have them be some unstripped spruce just for a little change. Then we're also going to use some of these stairs right here, like so. From here, we'll add some stripped spruce wood into the corners, and then we're going to fill this in with some of our calcite and diorite. All right, we've got the walls at the top all done and completed. So now I'm going to add in a fence gate, and that'll be the way to keep the chickens in and prevent them from getting outside. Now, the other thing that I want to do next is we need to work on the roof and figure out an egg collection system, which probably means we're going to remove this floor here and replace it with hoppers. But let's firstly get our roof trim added, and we'll use spruce planks to fill in the roof. So let's just get started on this, shall we? Now, another convenient thing is when we were raiding a trial chamber, we were able to find a bunch of hoppers. And because of that, I only need to make us one more in order to have enough to fill up the floor for the little chicken coop. So we'll just make our last one. I'm grabbing some of our wool, and then yes, I do have sunflowers because I'm kind of thinking it could be kind of nice for us to be able to dye this so we can have some yellow kind of like hay for the little chicken coop. I'm also aware it could just look like pee, but we're gonna go with cutesy cottagecore hay on the ground, okay? Okay. And then we are going to have the chest for the eggs show up right here. Let's do one here, one there, and then we just have them all kind of connect up like so. There we go. And then we'll just cover this over for now with all of the straw, and then we'll just go make one more hopper and we'll be done. Now we just place down the last hopper, the last carpet, and we'll add in some glass for some windows for these guys. And in freecam a little bit further away, this is what we got, and hopefully this will be fox-proof. Now we're just gonna clean up our crafting table and see about going into the nether to get some of the supplies we'll need to build the nether portal build, because I want to incorporate some crimson wood and some of the warped wood. I'm also placing down some dark oak saplings so we can get some of those growing while I mark out where the build is gonna go and collect some of the resources we already have to put into a chest nearby. As for our block palette, we are going to be using some calcite for the walls. We're going to be using some diorite, kind of just continuing the block palette that we have around our current area. We're also going to go and grab some spruce for some side beam pillars, and I'll bring 2 chests with me so that we can get that set up. And we have enough of the obsidian. Oh, it is night, so we are going to sleep. But we have enough obsidian from the portal itself that I don't need to go out and collect more, but we'll see if we're gonna wanna make this larger. Now this tree, we're going to, whoa. Hello. Oh, I didn't even need to Axiom. Oh, that works. But this tree is gonna get moved so that we can really have some more space to look at where we want this to go. But I feel like having the build be right in here is going to be good. So what we'll do is we'll grab our shovel, we'll remove this piece of grass, and then based on here, let's just scoop this out like so. Then we'll go 9 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And pillar up 4 on both sides of this corner here. And now I started with just using the calcite because it's an easy block, but I am going to want to texture this as well. And we're going 9 along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're just now filling this in. 9 by 9 is the total square footage. Now we can go around and get all of our calcite in. And then we're also going to add in some windows here. I want there to be a ladder here to get to the second level, which is where we're going to put the portal, because I want the portal to show through this front window on the second level. And then I want to have the crimson and warped wood be kind of like half of this upper build palette. Like if you notice how sometimes I will have a different build palette on the bottom level, and underneath where the roof is there's a different color. I want this one to be lighter colors and then half crimson, half warped. So that's kind of my idea, but let's just get some windows popped in here really quick and grab our glass. Next, we're going to grab a bunch of our bone meal from our skelly farm, and we're gonna grow up those dark oak trees, the ones that haven't yet grown, and then we are going to get chopping and start working on the roof trim. With our dark oak trees all chopped, we can now start working on getting all of our roof trim divvied up into blocks. And we're going to be mainly using the dark oak planks and stairs. All right, with the roof on, it is time to go into the nether, and I am a little bit nervous as usual, but we've got our bow. We'll also grab a stack. We'll just grab like 3 stacks, and I don't yet have infinity on my bow, so we're just gonna grab some more arrows real quick. I'm so glad I have this little tunnel system. It is so much quicker to get down there. I love it so much, and it's kind of just like a fun little ride, you know? So let's grab 2 more stacks. Should be plenty. There we go. And we'll just fill that up. And in the nether we go. I'm wearing gold, so we should be fine. And we're just gonna quickly grab all of the crimson wood that we're going to need. And I want some shroom lights as well. All right, we've got 2 stacks of the crimson, so we're going to start making our way over to getting a bunch of our warped. Once I get these guys away from me, thinking they're all tough and can take me on. All right, we're on the warped side, so now we just start picking up all of the items for us to decorate the warped side with, and we'll pick up some of the little warped nylium as well. And I'm gonna use a bundle to pick up a bunch of these extras just so we have some more space here. I'm actually so happy with bundles. They are so convenient. Now we have more space to pick up all the cute things that are going to be decorations, and we have enough space to pick up our 2 stacks of our warp stem. And I gotta be careful not to hit at Enderman or look at Enderman, because this could get dicey. Hello, sir. Just don't mind me. Trying to pick up my goods. Trying to just get 2 stacks of it. That's all I need. Alright, and we've got 2 stacks and 9 of the warped. We've got a bunch of the blue and red crimson decorations. So let's get on out of here and get back to the overworld. Okay, so we've got our build here that we're going to work on getting the 2nd tier up. And I'm going to, for now, just place these bundles in here since they just represent all the supplies. And then we'll take a stack and convert half of that and half of that. Grab our glass panes and fill in all the window pane holes. Now for our flooring, I wanted to be half and half of the warped and crimson, so we're just gonna do that. I'm also gonna just pick up some of this sand because it's actually kind of nice to just get some more glass, since I do need some more glass panes. So we'll just grab some of this quick. And then what we're gonna do is just start filling in the floor from over here with our warped. And then let's go like so. With the crimson, I want it to kind of be like blended together. I don't want it to be like a straight half and half, so we're gonna tweak this just slightly once we get this more in place. I also liked the idea of having some of our nether wart on the outside here, and then what we'll do is we'll take a bunch of the trapdoors of each and cover over those sides, and then we just cover these over. Then let's do crimson up this side. We'll do the warped on this side of things. Alright, and I don't want it to be perfectly matched. I want it to look a little bit messy as far as like how it's all connecting up, but I am gonna have windows be in here, so it might look a little bit different because of that. I'm also gonna see about grabbing some more of this nether wart to plant, because besides having nether wart on the outside, I also want to have it on the inside and have a cleric villager kind of be keeping track of everything here and managing this little nether, I don't know if I want to call this like a brewing potion house or just like our storage room for all of the nether stuff we have in this village. But either way, there's going to be lots of storage, there's going to be a cleric, lots of barrels, all those things. Now on this side, I think is where we'll probably just add in a little farm for the nether wart. And to contrast what we have for the warped floors, we will use the crimson trapdoors. And there we go. Perfect. Yes, the contrast looks so good. All right. Now on this side, we're going to have a little bit of a counter for all of the potion supplies, barrels, where the cleric's going to be on this side here. So let's quickly drop off some of the stuff, free up our inventory of some more space. And then what I want to do is convert some of these warped planks probably into just stairs to make like a counter, where behind the counter we can have our villager. So let's think about this. The villager is going to be in the middle. I don't want the counters to get like too big, but I think like this should be good. And then they'll just be right there. And then we'll box this in like so once we get them in place, have a minecart, etc. And then we can have barrels on the sides here. And then we could have a few like barrels and things for shelving around here. But let's quickly get a villager moved over. All right, you guys, who wants to be employed in a very nethery themed build? Step right up. Yep, step right up. This is for you, sirs. What if I just go swoop? There we go. You are the chosen one. Love it. And then let's just push them out the door. And we'll put their little brewing stand down inside here. And then let's get moving them over. And there we go. Villager is in place. There's still rails there. There we go. All right. Yay, you're a cleric now. And you are cured, so you love me extra, which is great. And then we can just close this off like so. Yay, look at our little cleric. Oh, that's so good. Now, whenever we have zombie flesh, we can come and trade them that. And we can also get some redstone. And we're going to quickly move the nether portal into its new location. And based on how much obsidian there's here, I'll probably go and grab a bit more. And we can finally clear this gross monstrosity, and we can get rid of the fences because no villagers are around to try to climb up into the portal and go into the nether. But look how much better that looks. Oh, and like it's kind of fun that you can totally tell this is a very nethery themed build and you know exactly what the purpose is. But it also really blends in well with the style that we have. And I really like how the roof height is taller because then it kind of makes the pond look like it's more tucked in. And I really like how that looks. And with the obsidian that I have, let me turn on my night vision mod so I can see better. But I think what I'll do is we'll do 3 here. And I think I'm going to have like stairs that kind of like help us get up into the portal. But we'll go like so. And I want this to be tall enough so that it reaches... Ooh, maybe we go up a little bit taller even. Should we do that? We're going to go up 1 block taller, which when I'm moving obsidian, changing my mind, it's a little bit more painstaking, but it's fine. And I kind of like the idea of having like a platform around this that we then walk up. And so then we can just have it go like this that we like walk up into to get into the portal. But let's do the portal. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. And I think what I'll also do is just move the stairs like so all the way around, just so that if I accidentally like run up the side, I'm actually just like able to just like come turn around, go back in the portal like so. And real quick, if we come back out here, look at that! You can see the portal! And that's exactly what I was envisioning, us being able to see it through the glass. And it looks so cool! Look at that! I'm also gonna grab my deep slate so that we can use that to fill in the walls upstairs and get the second layer all finished. And then as far as the ceiling, I'm kind of leaning towards covering a lot of this up. So what we'll do is I'll just take this deep slate and kind of just like pull it through. And we'll kind of make this be our ceiling layer. And that torch should prevent mobs from spawning, which is really the thing we're trying to avoid up here. And now that we've got our crimson, I'm trying to think, what did I do? I had the crimson on this side, so we're gonna swap it. So we're gonna have a blue be on this side for our back of this. And then crimson will be on this side, like so. Also, we do have to figure out how to deal with the calcite being in the floor on this side. I think I'll probably just make this be like shelving, like barrels like across here, just so that the full blocks cover over what we have for the calcite. All right, we've got our barrels across the top here. And I think what we'll do is we'll remove this barrel, replace it with a crafting table, make that be a barrel. We've got our trap doors, so we can add these to here. And honestly, that just looks so much better. Just covering up the obsidian. It doesn't look the cutest, and we can change that. I also brought a spore blossom and some glowberries to add some greenery, because one of my things that I will always say about a build when you're not exactly sure how to decorate it is, when in doubt, green it out. And for me, that's spamming spore blossoms and glowberries and lots of leaves, but I always like how that turns out, so that's definitely a me thing. Feel free to take that or leave that. All right, I grabbed a few more things from inside our little bundles and from our house. So I want to set up these armor stands with the helmets that we can use for adventuring. And I think if I just like flip this will actually be a really good spot for it. So if I go like so, then we can put one armor stand there. The piglin protection 3000, the crown, the golden crown can go there. And we'll just take the other one right here. Like so. And I do have a backup helmet, so we've got this one too. Another thing that might look a little funky, but I also think it would look good having them be in here, is all of these red vines. I think this will really just add to the nether effect that we've got going on, and we'll just plop that one there. We also have some of these shroom lights, so I could just go and add those in here. So maybe I go like that. There we go, and we'll put one like right here, just for some extra lighting. I like it, and honestly, I think having one be there would be perfect too. And we'll add a piece of crying obsidian there. It kind of works really well to have the crying obsidian by the portal, because they have very similar, if not identical, patterns to them, which is kind of fun. I wonder if that's like intentional, but either way, it's kind of cool. So we've got one there, and let's see. Okay, that's an external wall, so we can't put one there, but let's just stick one there and there. Kind of just some spooky, nethery vibes. I like it. We'll also add some pots around. I do like the idea that these are kind of like flipped upside down, so I think I'm gonna do that here as well, and we'll just flip on all of the corners like so. That way we can have a pot there, and I'll also fill that in so that it doesn't have a hole and a gap under it, and we'll do the same thing over here. And we put a pot there, and let's go grab our items, soup, and grab a snooze. Now, I'm thinking that inside some of those pots, we will add some of the mushrooms. I also think that I want to, on the exterior, add some of the warped nylium and the crimson nylium, because that will look really cool. So we can kind of like scoop up some of this, and I think I want to have it be contrasting, so we'll add some blue ground over here. Like so. There we go. And then I will have to add some regular dirt in here just to make this work, but I think it will look really good. There we go. Now, because I have some of these blocks, I should also be able to place some of those down. There we go. I like it. And we'll do the same thing on the other side with the crimson. We then spent the next bit of time decorating the downstairs with some of the glowberries, the leaves, adding in some pots with the mushrooms. We then went upstairs to add some leaves and some mushrooms as well. I'll also add some chests, and we can add in our flint and steel in here for future instances. And I do think that I want to just have this be where we have a bunch of our nether wood and supplies stored. So if I just remove these and pick up all of the nether related things, including our obsidian and this bundle, we can then just move it all into here, and then we kind of know where we can always go to grab any of our items that we need for the nether and from the nether. We'll also empty out this little bundle so that I can pick up those things as well. Now, the other thing I was thinking about looking at the exterior of the build is the roof looks pretty plain, and because I still have some of the mushrooms and the little roots, I'm kind of thinking, what if we went back into the nether to collect up some of the mycelium or whatever it's called, mycelium? I don't know, this stuff behind me, okay, whatever that's called. We're gonna actually then add it onto the roof on either side, and I think we'll do the contrasting thing again, where the side that has blue will get the red ones, the side that has red will get the blue ones. So I once again need to go back into the nether, so let's drop off all of our goodies as a preventative measure. We also will get to use the nether portal for the first time in its new spot, so let's hope it lines up where it's supposed to line up. And yay! Okay, it lined up exactly where we needed it to, and then we've got our silk touch pickaxe, so let's just grab some more of this ground right here. And then we'll go and grab some of the warped as well. We've got our crimson and our nylium warped, which is good. So we can just go back through and start working on our roof. And stepping back in freecam, that is what the crimson side looks like, and I definitely think that added a lot, so I'm very happy I went back into the nether, even though I didn't like being in there one bit, because it's always a little bit scary in there. I'm also deciding to add some of the warped nylium to the exterior on the outside here, because I think it'll just add to it, just having some of that on the sides here. And then we're able to add some of these twisted vines. We can add some more of those little roots. And then the same thing on the other side with the roots and the mushrooms. We'll just add some right in here, like so. There we go. The next thing that I think we need to do and focus on is going and getting chickens to fill in our chicken coop that we made, because I want to have a complete barn, and now unfortunately we do not because of those dang little foxies. So what we're gonna do is grab our bed. I'm gonna clear our inventory just of the random things, and then we are gonna go off on an adventure to find chickens. I never thought I'd go on an adventure for chickens. All right, we've slept. I grabbed a boat. Now let's go find some chickens, put them in our coop, and then we should be good to go with everything I wanted to do for today. All right, do you see what I'm seeing? I see a chicken on the radar. Chicken, where are you? I saw you on the map. Yes, okay. Let's see here. Oh, and an egg. That is perfect timing. Okay, let's chop down a tree, and I think what we'll do is we will just collect some of the chickens in a little area around here, and then we'll be able to come back. We'll just tie them up to a lead here on a post, and then from there we should be able to just go look around, find everything we need, and then collect them all back up and go back home. So we'll just go like so and leave you there. Thank you, buddy. And I will see you in a bit. That was very convenient that they also dropped an egg because that's, I mean, at least a tiny chance that I get another chicken at least. All right, we found a second chicken that gave us a second egg. So we're going to bring them over to where our other chicken is and continue the search. All right, Mr. Chicken, we're dropping you off. And we could just start with just these two and then like breed some of them up. That could work really well. And honestly, maybe we'll do that. We'll just actually take both of these guys back with me now. And then we should be good. All right, now I just gotta get them. Oh, there's already a fox. Get away from my chickens. You can't have them. That's so bad. Okay, I'm gonna get another fence gate here because that's gonna be problematic. Dude, where are you? Hello? I can hear you. He's trying to get to them right here even. Real quick, we're just gonna put that in place. Literally, I'm so glad I made a chicken coop because the guy's literally right there trying to take them. All right, we are adding a second fence gate so that we can prevent these foxies. Ah, no. Oh my gosh. Oh, these like right there. That's terrifying. Okay, well, we've got these guys here, so that's good. So we're just gonna leave our 3 little chickens in here. Keep them, hopefully. No, no. Stay away from the chicken. Stay away from the chicken. Holy moly. Okay, these foxes are terrifying. Okay. Let me just close those up, and then we're just gonna leave the seeds in here, and that's gonna be our way to breed them up when it is time. We've got our chicken coop, we've got our chickens in there, and there's still foxes on the prowl trying to get my little friends, but at least they're now safe in a chicken coop. And now that we've gotten some more chickens collected up and they're safely in a chicken coop to preserve our chicken population, we have a lovely build for the Nether portal, and it's no longer just sitting there all ugly. And we were able to name the last of our wolves that we have around the campfire and by our house. That is going to do it. The last thing I want to ask from you guys is a name for this little blue parrot that I was able to find on a stream adventure. So let me know in the comments what you think we should name our little bird. I hope you enjoyed the process of seeing everything come together, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.